Hello, my sexy transgender unconventional conventionalists, and welcome to we call this special edition of Bad Girls Rants. The subject matter of this video is not something trivial. It is very quite far from that. It is a serious issue going on right now in the real world, 2023. Let's talk about Senate Bill 254. First question to ask, what is it? Well, I will tell you. SB 254 is a law that was signed in to Florida a couple weeks ago. And this law has completely banned the gender-affirming care of minors in Florida. So if there is any kids or teenagers that identify as a gender that they were not born into, they can't do shit about it until they turn 18. But there's another part to this bill that many people who don't know about it seem to leave out. And it's the fact that this bill also bans gender-affirming care under Medicaid for all ages. So any transgender people that were relying on Medicaid for their gender-affirming care, their HRT, their surgeries, whatever, gone. Completely gone. And that is fucked up. So how did such a controversial and hateful bill get signed on in the first place? Well, we can all thank one man for that, and we're gonna call him Ron Death Sandshits, because I think that's a much better name than what his name actually is. I like this much better, don't you? Yeah, we're gonna use it. You see, Ron Death Sandshits was elected into office the first time around in late 2018. And this piece of shit had big dreams of becoming president. And well, in 2020, when the COVID pandemic hit, he decided he was going to cash in on that. So, he exploited the pandemic. He observed all of these total idiots in other states claiming that COVID is fake, complaining about the mandate, lockdowns, face masks, you name it. We've already been through this. We've been through it on the channel. But Ron, he observed that, and he said, you know what? I could take advantage of these idiots and bring them all into Florida and really increase my chances for presidency. So, he lifted the mandates in Florida way too early, before the first wave of vaccines had even been released. And thus, all the stupid conservatives that were pissed off at the lockdowns and the mandates, they all left their own states and moved down to Florida. Yeah, so Florida used to be a swing state, but now it is blood red. Yeah, remember the 2000 election, Bush Jr. versus Gore? You guys remember that? Remember how the election was suspended for, gosh, like what, at least 8 weeks? Something like that is never going to happen again. Because now that all these idiots from other states now reside in Florida, Florida is now a Republican state. So it will always go red. At least until most of these dumbasses die out, but that is taking way too long. Now, Ron Death Sandshits had enough control over the state, he had enough persuasion over stupid people to get his re-election late last year, and now he's secured Florida for the presidential election. But back to the bill in question. So, I want to address some misinformation about this bill. You see, I see a lot of conservatives coming at us saying that you want to mutilate the children, you want to fuck up their genitals, no. For your information, kids have never been able to have corrective surgery. That has always been an 18+ thing. Gender-affirming care for children includes seeing a LGBT positive therapist about how they feel and how they want to transition, and also hormone replacement therapy, which HRT is reversible. Theoretically speaking, and very theoretical because this would never happen, but If I decided that I don't want to be a chick no more, and I want to go back to being a man, all I'd have to do is just stop taking my HRT pills. And I would, for the most part, revert back. That's what the conservatives are missing. They think that gender-confirming care, they just jump immediately to the extreme, corrective surgery. And there's a lot of trans people, not just kids and teenagers, but even adults that haven't had any surgeries and don't want them. Next, we're going to address what conservatives love to call us. They've come up with this adorable, so original word called groomers. Yeah, they've taken the word boomers and just changed the first couple letters, so now it's like they think this is some kind of creative Uno reverse, but it's really not. The Catholic Church is referring to us as groomers, the trans community. As someone who was raised in a very Christian family, I can tell you right now that the Christian church is definitely the ones who are grooming children. I was raised being told that homosexuality is a horrible thing. Being told that masturbation will make you burn in hell. And just so many, trivial and stupid things would just send you into an eternal damnation in the afterlife. And you absolutely must go to this building and get on your knees in front of this guy who is suspended by his wrists and ankles on a fucking piece of wood. And I'm supposed to just, worship some imaginary friend in the sky? That's grooming. I was being groomed my entire childhood and teenage years. It wasn't until I was 25 years old that I finally broke free of it and took control of my own life. And on the complete opposite end, us, the trans community, and parents of trans children, they are giving the children the option to choose for themselves. No one in the trans community is telling children, you must be trans. It has to be this way. You must take the pills. No. We are allowing the child to choose for themselves. We are giving freedom to the next generation. Something that was never given to us. So no, we are not the groomers. The ones calling us groomers are the groomers. And, on that subject, this is the reason for a lot of the backlash. Because the boomers of the world are losing control. They've lost control of their kids, the millennials, and thus lost control of their grandchildren, the Gen Z and the Alpha. Which, I think the next generation after Gen Z is Gen Alpha, but they're all very young. They're 12 years old at the oldest. But yeah, Gen Alpha is the next one. But anyway, all the boomers, they grew up in a society where everything had to be a certain way. Their parents conformed to this society, therefore it was forced upon them to conform as well. And now that they're old and they're all gonna die soon, them seeing, this trend being broken, that the next generation is breaking free of that control, it pisses them off. They're pissed off because we are the ones that broke the pattern and not them. They are full of regret. It could have been them. They could have broke it back then, but they didn't. They chose to conform. Whereas we choose not to conform. We choose for ourselves. And they're angry about that. So what are they doing about it? They're attempting to seize back control of us by passing laws like Senate Bill 254. Which brings us to the next big question. How do we fight back? How do we protect ourselves and push back on this bullshit that is just raining down on us right now? Especially those of us living in Florida. Well, first and foremost, I say we stand our ground. I'm seeing people already moving out of the state of Florida to more blue states, where they feel safer, and I understand that. You know, it's scary. It's fucking terrifying being trans in Florida. It is. But leaving is just exactly what they want. I'm gonna stay and fight. I'm not going anywhere. Moving to California crossed my mind, but I've decided no. Florida is my home, and I am not going to leave it. I am not going to leave my high-salary lifeguard job that I busted my ass to get. I'm not going to abandon all that just because some tiny penis son of a bitch in power has decided that he hates me. No, I'm not going anywhere. And if I end up being murdered in a hate crime just for existing, well, guess what? That makes me a martyr. And that's the way I want to go. And you know, I gotta say, the amount of just giving up out of fear that I've been seeing in the state of Florida already, before June even started, it's very disappointing. The Tampa Pride Parade was canceled just out of fear that some psychopaths conservatives were going to come over and shoot it up. And yeah, it's entirely possible. Another Pulse shooting absolutely could happen. And Target, you know, some stores have been pulling their Pride selections before June even started just because of these complete psychopaths entering the store and threatening employees. Endangering the lives of employees over a bunch of fucking t-shirts and swimwear and overalls and I don't know what the fuck else. So aside from standing our ground, what else can we do to fight back? Well, spread the word. That's a big thing you can do. There are plenty other YouTubers and vloggers on this very website that have a much higher and louder platform than I do. I have like 3,500 subscribers as of making this video. You know, that's something, but there are, if a YouTuber with millions of subscribers made a video like this, people would listen. And that's one of the things we really need right now, is just powerful voices with a strong platform speaking up for us. Because the truth is, the trans community makes up less than 1% of the world's population. 3 years ago, when the Black Lives Matters movement was in full swing, a big part of its success was how many African American people were participating in that. Because the black population of the world, it's big. It's really big. But trans, it's not. It's small. So we really need our allies right now. We need our allies more now than ever before. And not just YouTubers, but gosh, if A-list celebrities started speaking up for us, the world will listen. There's plenty of good examples, but off the top of my head, I can think of two of them. One of them is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is on top of the world right now with the success of her tour going on right now. She is not only selling out fucking baseball fields, but she is selling out multiple nights in the same city. She is on top of the world right now, so right now Taylor's voice is louder than ever. Use it! There are a lot of Swifties who are also transgender. They're out there. So, yeah, you need to step up for your own fans. An even better example is none other than Lady Gaga. I really thought Lady Gaga would have said something by now. It's been over 2 weeks. Over a decade ago, Lady Gaga got on a podium and made a speech about how fucked up the US Army's policy of don't ask, don't tell really was. And guess what? It was overturned. They got rid of it. Her voice was heard. But now, here we are 10 years later, Gaga's, you know, she's got her own makeup brands and she's starring in movies, which is awesome. You know, I'm so happy for her success, but don't forget who you are, Gaga. If there was any one person out there who I truly believe could save the trans community, her. And I really, really hope she says something soon. But what can you do? What can you, the viewer, do? First, you can share this video. Help this video go viral. Help me spread this really important message to the people who really need to hear it. And then, make your own video. Do you have a YouTube channel? A TikTok? An Instagram? You know, whatever? Make your own video and speak out about this. Our voices need to be heard. This is our moment. We are the resistance. This is a declaration of war. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was one of my longer videos, but I had a lot to say. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and just be there for each other. This has been a special edition of Bad Girls Rants. No middle finger this time. Just salute, and I love you guys. Hang in there. Be strong. I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for us. Somehow, some way, everything is going to be okay.